Oh, hi everyone, I am going to make the tutorial about Blender geometry nodes. It's for the video about geometry nodes. I'm going to record here a material which doesn't record. Um, I were talking about how to install an extension for Blender. So we're going to the edit preferences and there's going to be get extensions. You need to search simple audio visualizer or audio just. I have it already installed. I will uninstall it and install it again. So I have it, but if you don't have and or you can't, you can just go to system and check the allow online access. There's also another way to install that. You can go to the Blender extensions website and then you can press search and you need to type their audio. And then you're going to need simple audio visualizer. Then get add-on and drag and drop into Blender. I already had that, so it says I already installed that. So don't worry about that. Now delete all and then create any object. I will make a cube, then add modifier geometry nodes, and there you need to type or I'm just going to make a name audio visualizer. Then go to geometry nodes, delete group out input, and then create points node. Put points into geometry. Then you have a point in the viewport. You can move that with position. Also, you can change radius and the count of that. In the left, you're going to have the amount and information about points. Then you need like you need to make points that create every frame. Add simulation zone. Move that in the middle. So points in geometry and geometry in geometry. So everything this happens in the pink zone. It's going to repeat every frame. Also, we need to create points every frame. For that, you need to create a join geometry node. Put that in the middle also, and put points in geometry. Now every frame you're going to create a new point automatically. Now we need to move that points. Create a transform geometry node and y put there 0.22. Now you're going to move that points on the y-axis. Now the rotation z a half of 1 and the x rotation also half of 1. You can also make the y-axis. It's going to be also cool. Now we're going to make them look like an audio visualizer. Now you need to create a new object, empty plain axis. And you can create any other object if you want. Now from hierarchy you need to put it in geometry nodes. then location in position. And now if I'm going to move the empty, the points are going to create in the same place at the empty itself. Also, you can plug scale in position, and depending on the scale of your empty, the points are going to be at the numbers of the scale of empty. You can also put a rotation in position, and if you're going to rotate on different axes, it's going to make the point on the different position. It's also gonna make some cool effects like that. But I still prefer location position result. Now we need to animate empty with our song or music or your voice. On the z-axis or something else if you prefer. Now open the graph editor. And in the end panel you're going to have simple audio visualizer, the plugin which you installed in the beginning. Now here I want to remove scale and turn on location. So it's going to animate only Z location. And now you need to select your audio file. And now you need to press on visualize selected objects. Now if you're going to place the animation, you're going to have something like this. Also, it's animated only before 250 frame. It's because the end of my animation is 250. Actually, I have a longer audio file. But if I'm going to set the end frame to 500 and I press again visualize select subjects, I'm going to have a longer animation. But if you don't know how much frames you're going to have, you can just set the end frame to 10,000. Actually, I have 900 frames. But I'll keep 250. Now I need to add the audio to make sure that the audio and the animation are synchronized. Press right click button and select horizontal split. And then select the video sequencer. Now just drag and drop your audio file. Also, as you see, I have a longer audio file than 250 frames. Now if you're going to play the animation, you're going to have the audio. Now open that I'm showing here and select Z location. Then press Alt S and select Smooth Gaussian and set nearly 35%. Now you're going to have a little bit smoother animation. Now you can just disable play audio. Now we need to delete points after some time. Create a new node called store named attribute. Add a math node. Plug value in value and call the attribute age. Then add a named attribute node. Then plug attribute in value. In named attribute put age. Then add a compare node. Then set float to integer. Plug attribute in A. Add delete geometry node. And then plug result in selection. Set B to 20. And now after some time the points are going to delete. In add node set value to 1. Now add point stickers node. Now add set spline type node. Set poly to Catmull ROM. Now you're going to have a smoother curve. For even smoother results, set Catmull ROM to NURBS if you want. Now add the custom mesh node. Also, if you want to activate fill caps box. Now add the curved circle node. And plug curves in profile curve. At first set radius to 0.03 and resolution to 10. And set scale to 1.3. Now add set material node. In material put material. And add bake node. Set animation from still. And click bake button. Also, if you're going to make any changes after bake, it's not going to update. You need to rebake. You can take a screenshot if you like. Now in render properties, set render engine to cycles and set device run CPU to GPU. Now add plane. Press S and type 50. Now press render at view and in world strand set to 0. Add area light and put it where you want. You can press R 2 times and rotate liquid. Set power to something higher and lower the spread. And set color to something nearly blue. Now go to the shader editor. Now select your material. Set roughness to 0, IR to 1.2, transmission weight to 1, emission strength set to 1.5. Add layer weight node. And put Fresnel in a color. Blend set 0.05. You can also make a ghost effect by setting IR to 1. Add a colorant node. The white color stop sets the color like this. Also here's the hex code. Select black color stop and set position of it to 0.115. Set linear to be spline. For the ground plane, add a checker texture node. Plug factor in base color. Plug factor in roughness. Add a colorant node. Put between factor and roughness. Make a black color stop brighter. Select plane, press Ctrl A and select scale. Now we need an add-on called Node Wrangler. Go to the Edit Preferences. Go to Add-ons and search Node Wrangler. Enable it. Now select Checker Texture Node and press Ctrl T. And plug Object and Vector. Set Scale to 1. White color stop you can make slightly darker. Gray color stop you can make also a little darker. Also, maybe I'm going to make it a product. It's end of the video. Subscribe and bye bye.